So we will start. I would like to welcome everyone to the December meeting of the Eastham Board of Health. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access 8 and through the town website. This meeting is now called to order. So we'll start with any opening statements that anyone might have.
Just an update, we are now live on our OpenGov permitting. That includes food establishment, hotel, motel, pool, tobacco, septic installer licenses, hauler licenses, trash haulers. Yeah, so that's all gone online. That went out live Friday and today. So anybody has any questions, they can reach out to us. Annual inspections will be starting next week with the team. So that everybody can get their annual licenses issued by January 1st.
That's great.
I think that's the biggest thing. Been a lot.
Anyone else? No?
Anything?
Okay. I have no opening statements, so we will proceed to our first variance, which is the 430 Steel Road. Before we begin, because there are variances, asking if there's any abutters. Okay, after the case presentation, we'll ask you to come up and speak. All right? Do you want to go? Is
I
your,
think-
I don't
can you
think
press-
your microphone is on, Steph.
All right, thank you. Stephanie Sequin with Ryder and Wilcox representing Locke and Libby Park, who are the owners of the property at 430 Steel Road, and we are requesting variances under local upgrade approval to replace existing cesspools with a new septic system. This is a roughly 19,000 square foot lot. There's two dwellings on it. One has 2 bedrooms, one has 3 bedrooms. According to assessor's records, they were built in the 40s. There's also a detached garage. There are 4 cesspools currently on the property, 2 for each building. The property was fairly recently connected to town water, which is good. And the portion of the property, basically the front half of the property, is within land subject to coastal storm flowage or the 100-year flood zone. As far as the proposed upgrade goes, the soil testing that we did shows clean medium sand that perked less than 2 minutes per inch, but groundwater was encountered at a depth of about 4.5 feet. So we do have a shallow depth to groundwater. That makes this an environmentally sensitive lot. So the design for the new system includes a pump chamber and also an IA component with nitrogen reduction. What I'm proposing is a microfast unit to be installed in conjunction with the pump chamber and the leaching system. In order to keep the leaching system outside of the flood zone and in the higher part of the lot, I'm showing it in the northeast corner of the property. Because of the shallow depth to groundwater and the existing grade where the system is going, we are requesting a variance to allow the bottom of the leaching system to be 4 feet above the estimated high groundwater, where a 5-foot vertical separation is required. So we're requesting a 1-foot reduction in that separation to groundwater. And also the proposed septic tank and pump chamber, the pipe elevations going into and out of those components are, per Title V, are supposed to be at least 1 foot above the high groundwater elevation. We're not able to maintain that because of the elevation of the pipe coming, or the two pipes coming out of the existing buildings. So the proposed pump chamber is approximately 6 inches above the groundwater, and the septic tank pipe is approximately 10 inches above the groundwater, again, where a 1-foot minimum is required. So we are requesting waivers from that requirement. Otherwise, the proposed system complies with all setbacks, design standards, capacities as required by the Board of Health in Title V. And this has been approved by the Conservation Commission.
Anyone have any questions about this project?
Uh, I just have one question based on what you said. One building had 2 bedrooms, one unit had 3 bedrooms,
Right.
and there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to make a note. I did ask that we do a walkthrough inspection at some point. The field card is showing, and we did get the floor plan from Stephanie after we requested it. Thank you. The field card is showing one unit has 2 bedrooms and the other unit has 1 bedroom. So at some point, if we could just make a condition to have a walkthrough done, so I could
Okay.
get the assessors the correct bedroom number.
Okay.
So one of my questions regarding that is, when there's a discrepancy like that, would we like to, when were the extra bedrooms, when would they have been added?
I would go with the assumption that they were always there. It's just the assessing department either has never been in there, or they went in there and they miscalculated, or, which is why we asked for floor plans, which we got, and it does show 5 total.
And the system supports the larger number of bedrooms?
It's sized for 5, no. For what it's worth, the owners went through some of their very old records and came up with a rental certificate from, I'm trying to find the date. I want to say it was like 84. That did, if you have the records,
Mhm.
approved for 10 people.
Which would have been 5 bedrooms, 2 in each. Yep.
Mhm.
So my other question, with a 5 bedrooms and an IA system, is that lot size still doesn't accommodate that?
We cannot take away bedrooms. So they have to design for what's existing.
All right. Any other questions about this? When we have, so it's a 1-foot variance you're asking for?
For the separation from the bottom of the leaching to the groundwater.
Right.
Where 5 is required.
5 is required. I'm
And you have
calling out 4.1, but if I could get a 1-foot reduction just in case
Okay.
it's a little off during installation.
And under Title V, they can ask for this 1-foot variance.
Before we move to a vote on this, can we ask the abutters who are here? Would you like to say something?
No.
Oh,
Happening. No, I have no issues with it or questions.
okay, so you just,
Sounds aggressive.
The variance doesn't.
Affects you.
okay.
Can I say one thing? It seems to me that having an IA system is much better from a health standard than having cesspools.
Totally agree.
Right, so we encourage every property owner
Yeah.
who's going to upgrade from the old cesspool, because they're going to have to, so.
Yeah.
One by one,
That's one more off your list.
bird by bird.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we all agree, does anybody want to make a motion?
I move. I move that there be no increase in habitable or occupiable square footage without Board of Health review and a butter notification. That the 5-bedroom deed restriction and use of IA technology using microfast 0.75 technology to be recorded with the Constable County Registry of Deeds. Secondary treatment and monitoring under general use approval conditions per DEP regulations, including quarterly effluent sampling or 2 times per year for seasonal use for total nitrogen, BOD, TSS, nitrate nitrogen not to exceed 19 milligrams per liter, Board of Health conditions to be referenced on deed restriction, operation and maintenance agreement to be submitted to the Eastham Health Department and Barnstable County Health and Environment, operation and maintenance contract required for the life of the system, operator to report results to Barnstable County Health and Environment Database or directly to the Eastham Health Department if not available, use of underground blower unit as proposed, for a 40 milliliter breakout barrier around SAS to be provided as proposed, any sewer lines within 10 feet of municipal water supply lines to be sleeved, and a walkthrough inspection to be scheduled with the Eastham Department of Health to confirm bedroom number in both units so field card can be corrected.
Number
Uh,
9 doesn't apply because we got it.
Okay. Designer to verify proper operation of the system prior to the issuance of the certificate of compliance. Final inspections and startup inspections to be witnessed by the Eastham Health Department and the Board of Health approval valid until December 18th, 2026.
Just to clarify, you're moving that we approve the request for variances.
Yes, I approve, we approve it.
Make a motion.
You make a
I make a
motion.
motion that we approve this.
I will second that. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I thought there was someone online. All right, thank you very much.
Have a good holiday.
Can I, how should we go about arranging a walkthrough? Because I know they're actually, I'll have to contact the owners to see, about getting to see.
I can do it with you or whoever they want me to.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, have a good holiday.
All right.
I already started it.
Waste no paper.
Music. Oh, where are you?
Okay, next we have Stankovic and property 100 Huckleberry Lane.
With the builder,
Okay. Are you,
Hmm?
you're presenting the case?
I guess so. I wasn't told, I was just told to come to, in case you had any questions. We're looking to expand it.
Hold on, could you just identify yourself?
Michael Tobin with J.C. Donald Company.
Okay,
Yeah, so just give you guys some background. This is a septic system that has a system that is utilizing the Advantex system. It was designed and installed and approved by the Board of Health in 2014. There was a condition at that time that required any increase in habitable or occupiable square footage. They had to come back to the Board of Health. That's what they are proposing, is an increase in habitable square footage. This is an opportunity for the board to, for a couple things. The system is functioning properly. It's being operated properly. That's why you're seeing it today. I can confirm all of those things are happening.
basically, you're just you're adding, you're
It's a
You're bumping out
three-season
into
porch that
this-
we're
into the
turning
sunroom?
To the kitchen.
Yeah, okay. I only have the same comment, how what is this, 4-bedroom house gets to be on that lot size, but we can't really,
Yeah, so
Do
the
anything
house
about it.
was built in 1985. Prior to any sort of environmentally sensitive or zoning restrictions or health restrictions on the size of the lot. Certainly over time, they've done things to the lot. But we can't take away bedroom.
pre-existing non-conforming.
There you go. You know, I like those words.
Anybody have any questions about this? Okay. Well, I will make a motion that we approve this project with the following conditions. Any changes to floor plans of existing dwelling will trigger Board of Health review. No increase in habitable or occupiable square footage of the dwelling without Board of Health review. No change to existing conditions for effluent sampling of the Advantex AX20. No change to requirement for operation and maintenance contract for the life of the system. Applicant to schedule walkthrough inspection with the Eastham Health Department to confirm number of existing bedrooms to correct the property field card. And the Board of Health approval is valid until December 18th, 2026.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
How about we sign for him the proposed floor plans? What do you think?
that you have? Okay.
That'll be pretty pictures of the way the kitchen will look.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yep.
Must have triggered it for some. Yeah.
You watch these meetings on Zoom?
I've been to a couple.
You've been to?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Zoom for the agenda.
Alrighty, last case we have here is 5960 State Highway. The Town of Eastham owned property.
Hi, good afternoon. For the record, I'm Laura Schofield from Schofield Brothers, and I'm representing the Eastham Housing Authority at this 5960 State Highway property. There's an existing 4-bedroom duplex here. And this property is located right up against the Wellfleet town line. This property is considered to be environmentally sensitive as it's within 100 feet of the Hatches Creek wetland system. And our design today includes an innovative alternative technology. So that's our reason for being before the board today. The existing system serving this dwelling was designed and installed around 1998, so it's getting tired. That system included a 1,000-gallon septic tank and a single leaching trench. So our proposed system is going to go pretty much exactly in the same place that the existing system is in. So the septic tank that's there now will either be removed or filled in because that's a little bit out of the way. The leaching trench will be removed. And our proposed system includes a 2,000-gallon Advantex process tank, which has the Advantex IA within. And then it'll flow to a full-sized soil absorption system for the 4 bedrooms that are in the dwelling. And we're not requiring any local upgrade approvals or variances. We will have to go before conservation under the local bylaw only because the septic system is within the riverfront area. Septic system upgrades within riverfront areas are exempt from the Wetlands Protection Act, but we're still going to go before the commission under the local bylaw. And where the system is proposed is as far south along the property line as we can get it. So it's as far away from the wetlands as we can manage. It's on the upland side of the existing driveway, and we have called for some erosion control to be installed anyway during construction. And then once everything is in and tucked back in, it should be fine, up and running. And the only, I think slightly unusual thing about this is that the soils will be confirmed at the time of installation. There was existing soil testing on record where the existing system is. But when Susie and I tried to do soil testing out there, there was stuff everywhere and we,
Situation.
yeah, it was not the best. So we said, you know what, we already have
We'll come back.
soil test information on file. Let's just go
What do
with
you mean
that.
stuff everywhere?
Oh, like lines and gas lines and water
Oh, wow.
lines and
Well,
so,
we could dig here, but maybe there's a line there.
and then there were
Want to do that?
weird things, so.
Yeah.
Weird things you don't want to disturb.
Exactly, so we didn't. So when we put the system in, we will confirm the soils and we'll call to have a witnessed perk test. But as I said, there was already soil test information on file from the existing system, so.
Anyone have any questions?
I'm just wondering in terms of the timing for the Conservation Commission, is
They
that
are on the
something?
agenda for January 13th.
And is there any concern that they might say no and we might say yes, or?
I mean, nothing is positive, I suppose.
Well, should we add that to our,
Absolutely.
Approval being
to our
after?
conditions?
Mhm.
We can add to our conditions contingent upon approval from the Conservation Commission.
No, that's basically what I was asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried. This system's a big improvement over what's there now and it's as far from the wetlands as we can get it, so I don't think they'll have an issue, but.
So
that-
I'm assuming these 2 units are occupied. They're
Yes.
renters. And everything is in place. That,
The Housing Authority is usually good about that, yes.
sorry?
We will double check.
Okay.
There would be triggered for renewal by the end of January. So we will make sure.
So when this work is done, do they have to vacate or no?
No, the installers are pretty good about keeping people in the house while they're, I mean, for a certain amount of time, you can't use the water while they're connecting the new tank and all that, but they're pretty cognizant of keeping people in the house and
So I'm assuming they have town water.
they do.
I have no, anyone else, any questions? Okay, so I will make a motion to, that since this plan meets the maximum feasible compliance, we will vote to approve it with the following conditions. Any changes to floor plans of existing dwelling will trigger Board of Health review. No increase in habitable or occupiable square footage of the dwelling without Board of Health review. A 4-bedroom deed restriction and use of IA technology using the Advantix AX20-20M treatment unit to be recorded with the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. Board of Health conditions to be noted on the deed. secondary treatment and monitoring under general use approval conditions per DEP regulations, including quarterly effluent sampling or 2 times per year for seasonal use for total nitrogen BOD TSS, nitrate nitrogen not to exceed 19 milligrams per liter. Operation and maintenance agreement to be submitted to the Eastham Health Department and Barnstable County Health and Environment. Operation and maintenance contract required for the life of the system. Operator to report results to Barnstable County Health and Environment Database or directly to the Eastham Health Department if not available. Designer to verify proper operation of the system prior to the issuance of the certificate of compliance. Final inspections and startup inspections to be witnessed by the Eastham Health Department. Any water lines within 10 feet of septic system sewer lines to be sleeved. And this approval is contingent upon the approval of the Conservation Commission, which will be assumed to be done at their meeting in January. Board of Health approval valid until November 20th, 2026.
Second.
Second?
Why is it valid until November?
What?
Because I copied and pasted from last month.
Okay.
So it should be
sorry.
December.
Oh, should be December. I'm sorry. I'm just reading.
Thank you, Hillary. No, it was a copy and paste from last month's review.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
Dates.
Board of Health approval valid until December 20th, 2026.
Thank you.
Um,
I
you
second.
second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I hear Paige.
Yes, here I am.
Okay.
I've been here.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a happy holiday.
Sorry.
Did you sign us?
I think we have 2 being signed.
Being passed around.
Yeah.
Oh, is that your plan, Francie?
Yeah,
Okay,
we don't need, do we need to?
no, that's okay.
No,
This is
she
just,
started.
Susie's plan. So
They just started.
we'll just do this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can have it there.
Yeah. It's still not, yeah. Thank you, Sam.
So are we moving to the draft regulations?
I think we should.
What about the minutes?
The what?
The minutes
Well, we can do that at the
at
end.
the end?
I don't know that Sam has a quorum.
We do know that Paige is here.
Oh, okay.
For
Are you
just,
sure Pippa's still here? Cause she said she had to leave early.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, a quorum for the minutes for the last meeting?
It's too me.
Okay, if Paige isn't here, then we don't have a quorum for either of them.
Not
Hey,
Try
But
again next
Paige is
month.
here.
Paige is here.
Okay, no, but I think
She left?
she did say she had to leave early.
Yeah, I think she left.
Oh, she left. Okay.
On.
I just said,
And then
I
she
didn't
left.
even know she was here and now she left.
She was here?
We'll table them for
She's
January.
lurking.
So minutes,
Tabled.
we could wait. Oh, yeah, we don't have enough for either of them.
Either of them.
Right.
Okay, so we will continue those at the next meeting. Yep. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to just a discussion of the draft of the, so just, can you just clarify this for me? It's in all the regulations we're discussing right now?
Yeah.
Because
so
I think, I'm just gonna say, I think that's a lot.
Fine, yeah, that's fine. So, you can off the back pull off tobacco because we're gonna have a discussion next month with Bob Collette from the Tobacco Control. Because there's a new regulation around about a nicotine-free generation, and so I wanted him to come and talk to the board about that because it's a new concept.
And while he's here, we can talk about all of the tobacco regulations because he's the tobacco expert.
Okay.
And so he can tell you what choices we can make with the draft that you have in front of you for tobacco. So I worked with him on the language in there. So we can take tobacco out of it. We have the wastewater section, the drinking water section. We made, I think, a small change to the groundwater protection district section. We made a couple of changes in the transportation and recycling section, with the help of some members of the Recycling and Energy Committee and the DPW. We've changed nothing with body art, so body art can be completely off the table for a discussion. And then we made some changes to the rental certificate program. But I'm happy to go over as much or as little as you want, so I think you've had these regulations for a little while now, so if you have specific questions, we can do it that way, or I'm happy to entertain whatever you like, so tell me how you want it.
Well, I mean, personally, I was struggling to read this.
Okay, agreed.
But so I really, me personally, I really only got through the ones that I thought that were the most important for the moment, which were these new septic regulations.
Okay,
So,
can we put it on the big screen?
Yeah, I'm honestly not quite sure why. Is there any way for our IT people, if they're listening, to like bring the shared screen to the full screen part of the? Thank you so much. So do we want to go to the septic section?
Yeah,
Section?
Just that.
page 4, but the page,
hold on, section one, well, how about, why don't we just start with wastewater?
So the first section?
Let's
Okay.
let's do one.
And I can,
Excuse me if
What
I'm
page is
just gonna
that?
be peering. Page
It's
4?
page 4,
Page
but I
4?
don't know
4?
that you have page numbers, so it might
This-
be.
I have page numbers.
On my phone, I get it with page numbers.
Okay,
Page 4 of 139.
right.
Can we make it bigger on the screen? Is that a possibility? Oh, yes, I think that may be more helpful.
yep, okay.
Can we go one more? Is one more?
I think we might cut off some of the words if we go that big.
Right? I think that's good.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so in this section, we changed the name to wastewater. And then we added in everything that we talk about when we talk about wastewater, so it's septic systems. And then it would be the salt pond phase 1 and phase 2 collection and treatment system, so that covers Title V systems and the sewer.
So the comments that are on the side here, are we addressing those like I mean, just starting from the beginning, do we want, was there a reason to have the numbers of households connected?
Yeah, so I wanted that number for the rationale because in the findings and purpose, we give sort of an overview of where we are, where we've come from and where we're going. And so I did get those numbers and inserted them into the comments, and we'll go back through and put them into that rationale and purpose.
Okay,
So some of those notes were meant for me to follow up accordingly, not necessarily for you all to do anything, just to know that I wanted to.
I mean, were you gonna like actually put the number of households currently in the regulations, or you just wanted to know?
I was gonna put the number currently from the date that we're done and we have a final draft. I'll grab the number from DPW on
Okay.
that day and put it in. It won't remain the true
Current,
number going
right.
forward, but it'll give someone a picture and time on
And
this
it's a
date.
reference point to start.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And to see, I had one question, Hillary, in the next page, on page 5, But this is from one of the blocks of print that wasn't changed. It just says under cesspools offer a little protection
Yep.
against nitrogen. I just didn't know what this meant. There is increasing pressure to build new or renovate and expand old homes to accommodate expanding use. I'm not sure what that meant.
I think that's a reference to people that want to increase the size of their dwelling because there's more pressure to now have a sewing room and an office and a TV room in their
Okay.
homes, where in prior times, maybe everyone had just a den that they used for all these purposes, but with more people moving here and working from home, people are expanding the way they use their properties.
Right.
And so there's this increased pressure for bigger spaces to do essentially the same thing, but they need to modify their dwellings.
Okay. I could, that makes sense, because I didn't know if you're talking about density of population.
Yeah, no.
Use of property.
Mhm.
Okay.
I guess I had some question about that. With more people working from home now, if you consider the office a bedroom, but you're talking about the same person who lives in the other bedroom, should we consider the changing nature of work these days to find some way to allow for that? Because it doesn't increase the flow anymore.
Yeah,
And you
it's-
can't have an office without a door on it because a lot of times people are discussing stuff that's,
And yet we make people put in offices with 4-foot openings so that the room doesn't meet the definition of a bedroom, because we never know. Once I'm done with my house and I sell it to Sam and I have this great room with a closet and a door and it's a bedroom, Sam could move in and be like, oh, I know I bought a 4-bedroom house, but look, I've got this fantastic 5th bedroom, and off we go. I move in 4 of my closest friends and
well, I'm just thinking that I'm a psychologist. I would
Mhm.
never do therapy on Zoom with
in a room. Yeah.
with an opening. So it would have to have a closure to it. And I'm just thinking that since things are changing now, should we start having some way to identify when it really is being used as an office?
So I think we always have the ability for a deed restriction and to put a deed restriction on a property. So if you came to us and said, I need to do some therapy out of my house, I need a room with a door,
Right.
we would tell you no, and you would tell us all the reasons why you need this, and then we'd go back and say, you know, she sounds pretty legit and reasonable, like maybe we could work with her with a deed restriction. So we'd offer you the deed restriction. 9 out of 10 times, if your intention is true, you'll go along with that.
That makes
And
a
you
whole lot
can-
more sense.
Yeah, and you can have your door, but we don't just hand out the bedroom, the definition of a bedroom to you pretty, like, we don't give that to you easily.
Mhm. Yeah, as I said, I'm just aware of how work life is changing. My
Absolutely.
son-in-law works from home and,
Mhm.
you know,
A restriction as to the square footage.
70 square feet, but 70 square feet's real tiny. I mean,
but it's an office.
yeah, it's a small office. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, we could get behind that, obviously, a 69 square foot room. But people generally want a little more space.
What was my next thing?
So we did add in order to secure the SRF funding for the collection and treatment system, we need a growth neutral mechanism. So we put in language in here, maintaining the flow of properties to 10,000 square feet per bedroom, which you already have in the regulation. So we just called out that would apply also to property served by the centralized treatment system.
So we're still, we're still, if you are on on the municipal wastewater system, you still are required to provide 10,000 feet of
Yeah.
per bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that, why would it not be what the IA systems require? I mean,
So the IA systems, so Title V says 10,000 square feet per bedroom. The IA systems give you a little more, I should say, a little less land area with nitrogen credit. You
Right.
can put more bedrooms on, but the general standard is 10,000 square feet per bedroom. So special scenario, you put in your IA system, you can use 8,000 square feet for a bedroom. You know, like it's just,
6,660.
yeah, whatever the exact numbers, I don't have that committed to memory, but more power to you, Francie, whatever that number is. But generally speaking, it's 10,000 square feet per bedroom, but this doesn't get into, you know, the extra capacity that the sewer system will have, where when we have sewer system regulations, we can then talk about an extra bedroom here or an extra bedroom there based on the sizing of the system. So in the meantime, we need to show that we're growth neutral, and growth neutral is maintaining what we currently have done.
Okay,
So that language is in there.
I didn't see that.
I think it's on the same page. Well, it's down a little bit. But in the same section, the purpose and findings section to start. And then the applicability, I think I changed that because there was a section that was referenced that was incorrect. So I corrected that. That's B, applicability.
Wait, I'm lost here. Hold on.
Right on the screen.
Don't worry, I can't see that either.
Yours says page 5 and mine says page 100. All of my pages are page 100.
They were
Oh,
different
okay, I
drafts
see
here.
It's okay.
So
Okay.
for the- Well, so that's the title, I think, right? And then.
Yeah, no, the applicability section, I just,
Yeah.
it wasn't referencing chapter 111 and it should have. I think it was referencing like chapter 11 or something. So just a legal piece.
This is also in the previous, regulations where we have, the definition of the bedroom.
Yep.
Which we have already, discussed, and that was the whole thing that we did.
Yep, and Hope added in some definitions at one point, so I took some of the definitions that she wanted and we reworked those and worked those into the draft. She gave us some comments ahead of time, that we worked some of them in and some are still open for discussion. But I think abandonment was one of the new definitions that we put in. Administrative consent order is a new one. And that we'll use going forward. If we have a property before us with a system that's limping along and they're in the collection and treatment area, we can then issue an administrative consent order that will say, okay, just repair what you currently have, understanding that it's non-compliant, but you'll connect to the sewer by way of this legal document once the sewer comes by your road. So we added in that terminology for administrative consent order.
Then down by, under the cesspool section.
Okay. You in
Oh,
definitions
no,
still?
so, okay, what the environment, okay, with this thing about the environmentally sensitive lots. At the last one is, any lot that encompasses an existing or future municipal water supply is going to, so it encompasses the water supply, or what about, my question is, what about abutting the water supply?
Okay, hold on one second. We went by buildable upland, which was new, a new definition.
Right, I
Okay.
have no problem with that.
Okay, and then cesspool, you're fine with. We took the definition, Hope wanted us to define cesspool. So we took the definition straight out of Title V
Mhm.
so that correlated. Okay, and we added the definition for the collection and treatment system also. So
Right.
that's in there. Okay,
Yep.
so environmentally sensitive lot. any lot with a wetland or wetland resource area as defined in the regulation that borders within 100 feet of a coastal or freshwater wetland.
And so where there was somewhere in here about a comment of 100 feet versus 300 feet?
Yeah, I think Paige, no, it wasn't Paige. Hope initially wanted to look at 300 feet from the wetland.
So, and what, so is that, you know, I mean, how far from, the whatever subsurface personal sewer system that they have
Mhm.
would to, to a wetland, would it, is it going to endanger the wetland? I mean,
So the regulation, the state tells us 100 feet is the setback. I think Falmouth at one time had a 300-foot setback to a pond because ponds are so sensitive and it's really difficult to remediate ponds once they're overloaded with phosphorus. So I think they were trying out 300 feet. So there is a scientific basis for a 300-foot setback. It's just how much do we want to change at one time? And, you know, the minimum is 100 feet. We could go 300 feet if the board were so inclined.
What would be the impact if you did that?
Well, you would capture a lot more properties and get a lot more IA systems in. And then the thought is, okay, so we're gonna require them to put in a nitrogen reducing system. We really want a phosphorus reducing system. Nitrogen also plays into the detriment of the ponds, but phosphorus is the largest issue. So is our impact valuable? Yes, it's always valuable. But are we achieving what we want to achieve? Probably over time if we get enough upgrades. But we're not gonna call out all these people and say, hey, you're now within 300 feet of the pond. Come on, let's get your phosphorus removing systems and have a large impact at once. So there is impact, but over time. So I think Hope wanted to consider the 300 feet, but I sort of felt like we're gonna make all these other changes. Maybe 100 feet is okay for now. That's the minimum standard with the state, and you know, I'm okay with that.
How often these regulations are reviewed normally?
Well, they could be reviewed as frequently as we like, but it's such a massive undertaking that I don't think it happens very often. So we've been sort of looking at changes since I came here like 3 years ago, and now you're seeing them all in one
okay,
document.
we've done like one section
Re-
one time, one section
Yeah.
another time.
We last looked at environmentally sensitive in 2021.
And so I think we changed this marginally, I think, because we added in into the next section flood zones and land subject to coastal storm flowage, which wasn't called out in the prior set of regulations. No, I don't think so. Does it look like that?
So is Hillary, is somewhere else in the regulations, the definition of municipal water supply area? Or is this the only mention of it?
That's the only definition. I think that was an existing regulation, Suze. That's the only section where we define what it is.
Could we add it to the section that,
It
Like
wasn't in the drinking, because I didn't get to go over the drinking water. Is it in there?
The definition of the collection and treatment system?
No, municipal water
Water
supply.
supply.
Oh, we can define municipal water supply. If that's what you're asking me?
That's what
Yeah,
you're
we can absolutely define that. Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the environmentally sensitive section. Yeah.
Well,
60
that's under, and it's, you know, under environmentally sensitive lot.
Okay, so we want to add, should we write this? Are you writing it down?
Yeah.
Okay, define municipal water system. So are we good with environmentally sensitive lot?
Well, I was just asking if, my question was about the municipal water supply system, like about protecting that in our regulations. Like, what do we have to do? Do we have to do anything more than what we
No.
already have?
No, I don't think so, because we have very specific regulations from Mass DEP on how we protect the municipal water system.
Oh, so that's,
It's,
that supersedes
yes,
this.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Can you explain C?
Any lot less than 20,000 square feet that is directly abutted by 3 or more undeveloped properties of less than 20,000 square feet. So if your lot is less than 20,000 square feet and you have 3 lots around you that are also less than 20,000 square feet, so we have some of those roads that have really small lots, 7,000 square foot, 10,000, then they are environmentally sensitive because they're so close together and they're so small.
That was our Huckleberry
And
Lane.
there's so much happening on them that we want IA on those because the separation between them all is so small and the use is very dense.
So if they're all undeveloped.
They can be developed.
No, it says
or
developed
undeveloped.
They don't have to
undeveloped.
do anything.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's only if they want to develop.
They want to develop it and 3 of their neighbors are small too, then they put in their IA.
Got it.
So that was as far as I went with the fine tooth comb.
Okay, failing system. Hope wanted us to define failing system, so we pulled that definition straight from Title V.
Where are we?
Right underneath where we just,
Next page, we're just going down the definitions.
next one is failing system. See that?
It's on page 10.
10, page 10, if you have numbers on your page, at the top of page 10.
Be a missing page now.
And so this
Right.
one, the failing system definition, Sam, can you get the failing system definition on the screen? Because,
Fortunately, we're having technical difficulties.
okay, well, in failing system, we had,
I must
a
have-
definition that said an on-site system that fails to protect public health and the environment as determined by 310 CMR 15303 and 15304, including cesspools within designated environmentally sensitive areas with a specified distance of surface water or wetlands and in buildable uplands. So we wanted to think about, do we go with 100 feet? Or do you want to go as far as 300 feet? So,
I'm
It should be
missing.
right after this page, whatever page comes
This
right
is-
after here.
I'm missing it. I don't have it.
I'd offer you my copy, but it's even smaller.
Here, you can look on with me, actually.
That's right.
I'll make it
Hilda showed me.
bigger.
Oh, okay.
Francie?
It's a challenge for people who can't see.
I can't see. That's why I have to have it on the screen. I couldn't read the others.
Use your camera on your phone.
You can look on too if you want. Just cozy up together.
Can we get the IT folks to help with this or what?
I think it, like, for whatever reason, it didn't load fully, maybe, because like the first part of it we can read, but the rest of it is.
But go down a couple pages because there are some blank pages in there.
Oh.
Well, let me just ask, a failing system, basically, we're saying,
This is where this is your big moment to fail the cesspools. This is what
right,
we've been
but it
talking about.
says cesspools within environmentally sensitive areas. What if it's a cesspool that's not?
But we were gonna say within a, cesspools within environmentally sensitive areas, within 100 feet of an environmentally sensitive area or 300 feet. And then it says, and in buildable uplands. So that covers
Oh, the
every,
buildable uplands.
yeah,
covers
that
everything.
covers,
Okay.
yeah, that covers everyone.
It's up
Yeah.
on the screen now.
Which is also hard to read.
Thank
no, I
you.
think
No, it's
I
actually
can read
good.
that.
It's good. I
I'm
can
having
read
trouble.
that.
Maybe I need to get my eyes.
I can read that.
And if I can read that, it's good.
And Sam, I can too.
Okay.
So that's what we want to do there is think about if we want to just say in environmentally sensitive areas or if we want a setback to environmentally sensitive areas. And if so, what distance do you want that to be?
So you just need to.
I would say let's go with the.
100?
The state,
Whatever.
100 feet.
100 feet.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like that's sufficient also for now and
I mean, we're trying to protect the water, so
Mhm.
that was my question. Is 100 feet going to be
Yes.
protecting the groundwater?
yes, because then we're gonna set a date on when this becomes effective. So that's food for thought for you. When do you want to make this the law?
I mean, this is a problem for every community that is dealing with this now because, this is potentially a big expense to people who can't afford it. So
Mhm.
that's a whole other issue.
Yes, it is, but remember, we don't have that many cesspools still existing, right? We have that number handy, and we've been talking about it for so long that I think people know this is coming at this point.
So are we saying if we put in the 100 feet, that even if you're not selling or upgrading your property?
You're still
You're st-
upgrading your cesspool.
You still
you
have
still
to.
have to do that.
Have to.
And
Okay.
that is a state requirement or
Nope, that would be
recommend?
our local
town.
It's a
requirement.
local retirement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And other towns in our surrounding areas are doing the same thing, so we're,
And there are some funds to help people who can't afford to do
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Does this body, the three people, make the final decision, or is there, there's a vote that goes to?
We're just trying to hammer out a final draft. When we have a final draft, then we clean this all up.
Yeah.
So that it's way more legible. We advertise a public hearing, we send it to people, we talk to the newspaper, we get on the Turnip Talk, we make people aware that we have our final draft. And then we have a public hearing and then we vote on it, hopefully with the full board present.
okay.
This board.
The Board of Health, yes.
We're
The Board of Health can
It
make
doesn't go to any other.
no, boards of health have a lot of authority in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
Out of town.
and boards of health can make reasonable regulations.
Is there any way to put a time frame that they have 5 years to do this, 3 years to do this?
Absolutely,
And- okay.
absolutely. 10 years, I would
No,
not
not
get
10.
behind.
I'm just
Yeah. Yeah,
hypothetically
yeah, yeah.
thinking,
Yeah,
can we say
absolutely.
3 years?
And this is where we talked about at a prior meeting, like, maybe we want like a tiered approach where those in environmentally sensitive areas go first.
Mhm.
So maybe they're within 2 years, then maybe Upland is within 5 years. But, we need to make progress.
Right,
We need to make progress.
I agree. But if I sold my house,
If you.
Automatic.
Then it's happening anyway. And I wish I could find my piece of paper. You don't have it mixed in there with that? Yeah, you got.
But there has you have the number, Hillary?
Yes, we had 54 environmentally sensitive cesspools the last time we ran the numbers. And we had 192 non-environmentally sensitive. So, and those numbers have come down because we've seen cesspool
People doing
upgrades
it.
since we ran these numbers.
Yeah.
This is probably like, I don't know how many months old, but it's not a year old, but it's months old.
And of that larger number, how many are within the specified distance of
Yeah, but
surface
I don't know
water?
how
That's
many
what-
are 100
that's what we're
feet
talking
from
about doing.
I don't know how many are 100.
So we don't know how
but
many this
yeah.
is gonna.
We can add it
Okay.
to the draft.
I would do that.
So should we add to this section that, something like on adoption of the new regulations, homeowners of
Environmentally sensitive?
of properties that have cesspools. I mean, can we add this with the time?
So I can't add it on the.
I
one
can.
That you're looking at right now, but Hillary has the document, so she's taking notes while you're talking.
Yeah. So I'm just saying we can put it in. So I
Yeah.
think
So
Would-
within the designated environmentally sensitive
Yeah.
areas, would you want to say 2
Yeah, that's where I'm putting
years?
it.
I think so, yeah.
Reasonable.
And then the others within
3,
3, 5, whatever.
5, whatever. Well, 5 seems like a long time.
I would say,
I'm just throwing out numbers, so we can get its consensus.
so we're gonna say 2 years if you have an environmentally sensitive lot and
3 years.
3
for Jerry.
years
Yeah,
for,
let's get it done within
Let's do
5
that.
years.
yeah.
I mean, they've had an eternity and people can still come and ask for a variance. People can still come and ask for variance for all their special reasons why they can't comply.
And those funds will be available for
And
the
we have-
next 5 years
Yes,
or
we have
whatever.
The Aqua Fund, which will fund an upgrade.
Mhm.
And those that are in the sewer district would get their administrative consent order to connect to the sewer when it goes by. So we have those numbers too. How many are in the sewer district? I just don't have them in front of me, but they're on a map in our office.
Are these going to be going to IA systems? Is that what?
Some in the environmentally sensitive areas, they will go to IA. If they're in the sewer district, they'll stay on their cesspool with an administrative consent order.
To
Okay,
connect to the town's
Yeah, yeah.
sewer.
Yeah.
but no one will just go to a simple septic
Well,
system.
those in the buildable uplands will just go to a standard Title V.
Oh, they will.
And you weren't here, Stephen. I'm Hillary. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
yeah,
I work with these guys also.
Yeah.
And we had a workshop a year ago, I want to say. Time isn't my specialty, but sometime recently, it felt recent, sometime recently, where we did invite all of the cesspool owners to a meeting. We had all
Ah.
of their mailing addresses. We Zoomed it. The Eastham part-time resident taxpayer group was invited also. So we've done a lot of outreach. So this should not come as a mystery. There were articles in the Indy. We've been fairly clear on our intention for many, many months.
I think people who in all the towns in the Cape and definitely in the outer Cape are aware. I mean, nobody said, I'm not, I'm not gonna do this. They know that they know that it's the right thing to do because our water is,
yeah, of course. Is
Some
is our
talk
goal.
about the cost and
Yeah.
they're living on fixed incomes, but then
We heard a lot about that, but I think we do have the ability to work with people, and if they come in and say, there's no way I can do this in 2 years, I need a variance, we have the ability to do that in unique situations, or, you never know what someone's struggling with on what day, but we heard from a couple people who said, I literally use my property 2 weeks out of the year and it is closed up the rest of the year. And, we hemmed and hawed over that because that's really difficult for us to monitor and track. But the board at the time, when we vote, and this person comes before us, might be willing to say, okay, you know what, we'll give you 7 years based on what you're telling us. So you have the ability to listen to people and make independent decisions on whatever the case is before us without setting any precedents.
This may be a really uninformed question, so
I don't
I'll
care.
put it out there. If I had a cesspool, how would I know how soon the sewer would come to me? So now you're telling me that I have 2 years
Mhm.
to put in an IA system because I'm an environmentally sensitive area. But in 2.5 years, the sewer system will come to
So
me.
3 to 5 years. So we are doing pre-qualified bidders right now. We've put out an RFP or an RFQ to get bidders in to do construction. And we know that it will take 3 to 5 years to construct our collection and treatment system, and then we'll be ready to roll. So
But we
we're
don't-
not.
they could
we-
get a variance then if they.
we would then issue the administrative consent order and say, we understand you have a cesspool, that's great. We don't want you to spend your money on a Title V right now because that's senseless. Save your money, and when the sewer comes by, you're gonna connect to the sewer within 6 months, a year,
Okay.
know,
Thank you.
yeah.
but the municipal sewer system is not gonna cover the whole town.
No, I
Correct.
know that.
Just-
No, I know
yeah.
that. Yeah, no, I know that. Just I'm thinking,
Salt Pond area, yeah.
Okay, so
Right, so, so I think, do we agree that we're just gonna add that time frame to this section?
I added that for now and
now,
this is a draft,
Yeah.
so we will continue to shop this around and people may come and yell and scream at us and we may say, okay, geez, we'll go to 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
we'll have an interactive, engaging process if people want to come and engage with us.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, then we make our decision based on the regulations and how we feel.
Yep.
So multi-unit housing is something that we defined. New construction is always difficult, I think. So we struggle with this one. And we added this definition. This is a different definition than the state definition. Because under the state definition, new construction is not completely tearing down and rebuilding a dwelling. And we have cases on environmentally sensitive lots where homes get demolished and rebuilt, and they are entitled to keep the same number of bedrooms, but they are not required to put the IA systems on because it's not new construction. So we wanted to capture those scenarios with this definition.
How does this affect ADUs?
ADUs are a separate animal unto themselves, and ADUs are subject to all of the regulations in place. So what we find with the ADUs is it's really difficult for people to cite ADUs now because they have used up their square footage on their existing bedrooms. So no matter what the state says about putting in an ADU, it's not very easy on small lots with 3-bedroom dwellings or 4-bedroom dwellings because many of them don't have the size that they need to accommodate what they currently have. So in some scenarios, they can use the IA for nitrogen credit to get the ADU. In other scenarios, they could take a bedroom out of their main dwelling to build an ADU. But truly, citing ADUs is really, really difficult. And that's the sad truth about it. So they made all these changes at the state level and it's still almost impossible.
This thing about the existing footprint additions that increase the footprint of an existing structure.
Mhm.
I mean, what happens if they're just gonna add 1 foot or something? Do you wanna, is it necessary to put some minimum that would be
My-
allowed?
In my mind, if you're buying a house in an environmentally sensitive area and you are tearing it down to the ground and rebuilding a brand new structure,
No, that I mean, but
Yeah.
what happens if you're just adding, like this guy added a porch or something?
so that he could come in and talk to the board. You
Oh,
don't have
okay.
to require it. You could require it.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But this is really for the raise and rebuilds.
Yeah. No, that's important.
So when someone tries to pull a permit to enlarge their living room,
Yeah,
say,
that's not gonna trigger the IA.
that won't, okay.
No,
Oh, I see.
this is really just new construction in the sense of I'm taking this whole structure down and I'm putting up this brand new structure.
Okay.
And we've had a couple of like heated discussions in the office with lawyers about it, trying to say, how can you do this? Like, this is just wrong. And well, the definition of new construction, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know.
yeah.
New septic system is staying the same. We defined nitrogen reducing technology, and a lot of these definitions we pulled straight from the Title V code. I'm still on page 100. I'll have you. On-site sewage disposal system, we defined that. Repair stayed the same. Residential subdivision was new. I don't think there's anything exciting there. Wetland resource area, we added in floodplain and land subject to coastal storm flowage. Those were not in the old regulation and they should have been. I was never quite sure why they weren't, because you had lowland subject to tidal action. So we added those in, which will make those lots environmentally sensitive as well as they should be. Then we crossed off the old definition. We relocated that to a different section. Multi-unit housing we changed and moved up. And nitrogen reducing technology we moved up, and then we get to D, septic system construction permit process. Oh, and we had to revise this once we had our online permitting in place, which we do now, so we have to change this a little bit because we're no longer taking in all the paper copies, and people will be required to file online, so we'll change.
Are still requiring a paper copy.
Yeah. So we'll change the regulations accordingly there.
So we're requiring everyone to apply online?
Everyone will apply online for all of our permits.
And, and,
Here's the thing, most of the businesses are used to it because they've been doing it in other towns for so long. We're
Yep.
really late to this online permitting party. And I think the biggest push was what we did first, which was the rental certificate program, because that's a lot of just local folks that rent their home and used to fill out their paper and come in and see us. But last year was the first year and they all managed to do it. A lot of hand holding, but we're happy to help people with whatever they need. We have a computer in the office where we
Gotcha.
can work with them, and Sam set up a time for people to come in on a particular day. So there were office hours specific to helping
Okay.
people. But I think businesses are, fully aware of this, and quite honestly, I think some of them prefer it
yeah.
and then having to come in,
Come
but
in, sure.
it should be an interesting transition and we'll see how it goes.
Maybe soon you won't have to have your stuff printed. at the board meetings.
Some of us are paper people.
Sorry. I will just retire because I'm analog. You all know that.
I won't be during the winter.
Francie, I am
Do
too,
what
and
you're
I
doing.
asked Sam
Remedial.
to print this for me. And Sam said, Hillary, it's so small, you can't see it. I said, I don't care, I still need it. Like,
That's,
I need it with me.
I asked Sam to print this for me and I'm like, what?
And I
He
can't
did,
see
he did,
it with
he
or
did
without
warn me,
my
Sam did
glasses,
warn me
so-
that it was too small. I'm thinking, no, I don't want it then. Don't bother.
So I'm right there with you. I understand. But we have to move in the direction of society, so. So we're gonna change this a little bit, to accommodate the online permitting. We've required, change the sizes of the plans that we wanted. Just some office logistics in that section.
Really, because you must have so much paper in your office.
Decades of paper.
Well,
Decades of paper,
and
I'm sure.
technically it's outside in a trailer, but there's a lot, yeah.
And no one
Not
will,
allowed to get rid of either.
and you can't scan it into,
It's all been scanned.
it's
but
all
we
been
also
scanned
have-
at least, but still a lot of paper.
Well, by law, we have.
Okay, we changed section G on the as-built. I don't know if you all care about that. That's more of an office logistic for someone to find the system after it's installed. We asked for ties from the building foundation to the components. And that the engineer sanitarian will confirm that the system was installed according to the approved plan on file and submit final elevations of the system as installed, because sometimes that becomes a question. So
No, it's definitely good. It's like, it's tightening up all
it's just some,
the information that has to be agreed upon.
minimum setbacks, we just changed the language to better language from septic tank disposal fields to leaching
Page you
pits.
on now?
I'm still on page 100 on mine, but I'm still in minimum setback distances, so down a little bit from where Sam is.
Page 13?
That's page.
Yeah,
Page
general
13?
system
Okay.
requirements,
Ahead of you. Okay.
the minimum
Page
setbacks.
15, you have to, Okay,
That time.
so let me ask you something. Are we supposed to be voting on this today to?
No,
No.
no, I just want you to know what's in here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that when we take this and make it into our final draft, we all know what we're looking at. So it's
Right.
not a mystery to any of you.
So I'm just saying, if we lose a member who has to leave and we don't have a quorum anymore.
They have to leave at 4:30.
Okay, well, why don't we get through what we can until
And-
4:30 and
yeah.
then,
Hope we'll be at the next meeting too. In January, right?
yeah.
All right?
Perfect for me. I just don't want to mess anything up here.
No, I don't think you're gonna mess anything up. So let's just keep moving here. We added flood zone into number 2 setback distances because that wasn't there. So that has the 100-foot setback to all wetlands and wetland resource areas. We added on the septic tank one, this one's kind of interesting, which wasn't in the regulation, that if there is a variance to the septic tank, it will be a monolithic tank. Monolithic tanks are kind of built like shoe boxes, if you don't know. So the seam doesn't go around the center. It sort of sits up at the top and then the lid comes on top of it. So it fits, it is essentially a shoebox, but made of concrete.
So there's no
So it doesn't
frame?
leak, yeah.
At the bottom.
So we added that in. And then going further, number 4,
But,
new
let me-
construction.
so but 50, with the 50 feet, distance, that's, that's okay.
Yeah, Title 5 gives us the 50-foot setback to the top of the coastal bank and the dune.
Okay.
Number 4, new construction / increase in flow and building alterations. We added building alterations there. And this tells us that we're requiring the septic inspection report for building alterations beyond a de minimis amount. We need to go back up and define de minimis amount, and that's $10,000 is the de minimis amount. So any building construction project over $10,000, with the exception of window siding, roofing, would require a septic inspection prior to the issuance of the building permit.
So hold on.
Explain that one again.
So right now, when they pull a building permit, we require a septic inspection. It's not written into our regulations.
Okay.
So in order to firm that up, in case someone says, I'm not doing that, it's not in your regulations, it's in our regulations. And the thought process there is that if you have money to put on an addition, renovate your kitchen,
Yeah.
build a new bathroom, put on a sunroom, then your septic system shall be functioning as expected, or that money should go to your septic system to be in compliance, not a new
Building,
kitchen.
So for example, the house with the new kitchen, well, they submitted,
Yeah.
they have an IA system anyway, and they submitted their.
Also asked to inspect the system as part of their review of the building permit.
So we always ask them, but it's not in the regulation. So someone could come back and say, I'm not doing
To
it.
do it.
And then we'd be fighting over something that's policy, and it makes it difficult.
yep.
I'm just thinking about your de minimis
Yeah.
amount here. I mean, I consider one home repair unit $1,000. So anything is multiples of 1,000. And now with all of the tariffs and everything,
I know. But again,
cost of construction is $10,000 seems
Seems
like,
like nothing.
changing your dishwasher.
we could go up if you want to go up, that's fine, but we're not capturing, this basic needs of repair. So like, a lot of people replace windows and that's
Right,
expensive.
right.
or
That's
people
what I was
on a
sort of
roof.
thinking that.
I don't know, do people hire maybe a plumber to replace a dishwasher? Like we can have some latitude, which is why we didn't define de minimis amount up front, but Hope wants us to define it, so we can definitely define it. What that number is, maybe it's $20,000 today because things have gone up so much.
Well, I mean, if someone's gonna replace their windows or roof, it could be like $100,000.
Yeah, but we're not looking
I'm
at
not
that
looking-
because that's necessity.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just wondering if maybe it would be, rather than defining it as a dollar amount, define it as something that relates to the disposal system. I mean, to the a wastewater system.
How would we do that?
Because you could do wallpapering and that.
Yeah,
kind-
we're not gonna, wallpapering's not gonna trigger it.
But the
It's more
regulations don't really
construction.
To
speak
change
to
the
that.
habitable or occupiable use.
Well, I'm
wallpaper,
expanding my living room. That would
trigger
do it.
because that's an increase in the habitable area.
Increase in flow and building alteration,
Mhm.
building alteration. So wallpapering isn't a building alteration.
Mhm.
Replacing a dishwasher isn't a building alteration. Putting in a washer dryer, nope.
Right.
Mhm.
Expanding your pantry, yes. Building a mudroom, yes. Those types of
Yeah,
things.
Because you're building, I mean, you can do all these things within the confines
Of
of
what
your
you have
footprint
already, right.
already, and that wouldn't
It's-
trigger.
Right, it's just the
Anything.
building.
Mhm.
I agree that 10,000 doesn't seem like very much in today's world.
Okay, then we gotta go up,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's taking down a wall, not putting anything up.
Yeah. So we'll define that.
I mean, let's just to put I mean, if you are going to do interior work in your home,
Mhm.
you still have to pull a building permit.
Well, depending on what you're doing, right?
What if you're, I mean, you could be knocking all the walls down and you had, and putting in another bedroom.
Well, then we'd want you to have a septic inspection.
No,
for
I
sure.
know that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it's not just, I'm just talking out loud. I mean, it's not just adding on to the
No, but the building alteration captures
it's any
changes
build-
within your space
Yeah.
and additions and increases in flow. So a building alteration, we could define building alteration along with de minimis amount.
Would the
Mm.
building alteration be anything that triggered having to get a permit from the building department?
I think we're gonna have to remain flexible. You might need a building permit to replace a half wall. I mean, we're not gonna get hung up on that, right? Like it just a construction project, a new construction project, an alteration of, that's meaningful in like our eyes is something that would impact or take money away from a septic system upgrade if your system's old and not functioning. So it would have to be, like, I don't know what kind of.
Is that why we're
alteration.
putting a dollar amount on it?
That's why that's why we want to put a dollar amount on it so that there's less, well, maybe maybe it's this, maybe it's not. I want it just black and white for people. If you're doing a construction project that your septic system could be upgraded for this amount, check your septic system before you do your building project. Make sure it's functioning before you spend all your money on a closet.
But we want the septic inspection report to be given to the health
We've
department?
already asked for a septic inspection to be done right now when we're reviewing permits
Yeah,
for the building. If a system is more than 3 years old or it's been inspected hasn't been inspected in more than 3 years, we're already triggering it for a large scope of things to already be done.
Mhm.
That's just what we've done. So now we're putting it in black and white in the regulations that it's a regulation and it has to be done. And people comply now.
So it's more really a request for something that's already being done.
Yeah.
It's putting it in black
It's
and
putting
white.
it into the code so that we have a.
So there's no
legal-
way someone can say, well, I didn't know I had to do that.
Yeah, not doing it.
Or I'm not doing it.
would you say that the majority of properties in this town have Title V systems? More, I mean,
All except 192 plus 54 minus a handful.
Well, also like, and minus all the, I mean, I don't know how many at this point have IA systems.
Yeah, plenty.
I mean, plenty, but let's just say Title V without IA.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, would you say the majority of properties have that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
100%. So
So
we want to make sure they're functioning.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was like under the probably maybe false idea that you have your Title V system, you have like your sewer company, the company that pumps your system,
Mm-hmm.
and they're supposed to send you a note every.
Yep. Every time they pump, they send us a pumping report.
No, but I mean, they're supposed to keep their clients and notify them like, it's been 3 years and you need, but they don't. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they do that. I think that's on
don't,
you
I
as
think
the
you
home.
You notify
Yeah,
us.
we used to notify people with a postcard, and that was really unpalatable to the community because we would receive hundreds of calls from people yelling at us that we did our pumping and you sent us this postcard, and that wasn't a good method either.
And every year around April, we would get calls. We would have to set up a separate voicemail.
Must have been pleasant.
So maybe that's something we engage with every 5 to 10 years, but every year it was not manageable.
I'm just wondering who keeps those records.
So we have the records, we have the pumping database, we can go in and check.
Is there an alert that would come up if I hadn't done it in 10 years?
No, not at this
But
point.
Nothing comes
No.
up, so I could go 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what I was getting at. There's no way that people are, like are reminded and they're,
I think our company says that you probably need to have it done.
mine did, but then they
Ours-
didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had to call, I'm like, how many years ago was it?
We can also answer that question for you too. if you
No,
want.
I know, but I mean, that's just me, but I'm just thinking of like the average person out.
We get calls from average people, average property owners often, asking when they were last pumped.
So whoever pumps always lets you know.
Yep, they have to submit a ticket to us.
That's good to know.
And then that goes into our database.
Could that come out with our tax reports, our tax bills?
I don't know how we would do that.
We do that.
Like a mail merge with
Mail
tax?
I mean,
Good idea.
people should know.
Yeah,
No, I mean, if it's health wise,
especially if you have,
Because people forget.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, people forget. It's not that they're,
plus when we bought our new house, we had no idea.
when it was done last, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't know that they kept
I
the
didn't
record.
know. and
I
then
would,
just-
I didn't know
Someone
that.
said, have you ever had that done? I said, no.
Uh-huh.
And then they said, well, so
Yeah.
I called the guy, I said, no, you haven't had this done
Maybe
in
Just
a
an
turn-
idea.
you know,
Turnip top.
5 years or 10 years, I don't know, but it turned out it was fine.
Is he okay? You on the turnip
I
top?
Well, I
don't
think
know.
the seller is
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to
It's fine.
Right.
it's
have
fine.
it done before the property.
It's added
is-
to a list.
Yeah, maybe.
Changes hands, but they don't.
All right.
All right,
I-
sorry.
I am,
4:30, so I
I am so
I know
sorry,
that-
I have to.
I don't have a quorum anymore now that Hilda's heading out, so. do we
I
have
just
one-
wanna-
One more thing you want to talk about?
No, I just wanna see capacities and flows.
There's a quorum.
Our quorum.
So we're-
Sorry.
Can someone on there be a part of the quorum?
Yeah.
Yes, you can be on Zoom.
Part of the
So-
quorum.
So then what's the problem? Next in January, you don't think you?
No, I'll be on Zoom, so I'll be part of the quorum and hope,
You two will be here?
Yeah,
Okay, so we have.
and hope and Fran, yeah,
no, she hung up.
Paige sometimes.
Page left.
Page left.
I didn't know
yeah.
you left.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Although you could now as alternate be considered part of the quorum.
Yeah, but
If Hilda left, can we have,
We get some dates from everybody on when you would be available. Could we get some dates from everybody when you'd be available for a workshop? Because that might be more,
that's what I
that's a
think.
better idea to get through all of this
great
as opposed
idea.
to at a regular meeting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was hoping we could, I kept asking, are we gonna have a workshop about this? Because it seems like a lot to do.
Asking.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right, so get Sam some dates on when you're available in the new year.
In the new year.
Because don't forget, we wanted an
It
April
might be
deadline.
easier for Sam to generate some dates when you're available, he can tell you.
But some of you work in an office somewhere, so I think we need to know what that, what that
What it looks
schedule
like for
looks
you
like,
guys,
because
it'll
then
kinda
we
make
can
our
work
thought
around
about it.
that.
But the
When you
workshop
retire,
could
you'll
also
be
have
able
some
to
people on Zoom? Yeah, okay.
Can I do a workshop on Zoom? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we care if you're here or you're there, but we
As long
want
as
to
you're
talk
present.
about it so you know
Got
what
it.
we're looking at, and we don't want
Got it.
anyone to be blindsided with anything. So maybe get us your work schedules, and then we can work around your work schedules and then send you some dates, specific dates and times.
So when should we, think of doing this? Well, you know,
Prior to the next meeting. Or
January.
Prior to the.
Can we do it in
meeting.
at
January?
least by the middle, and sometime around the middle of January?
Mhm.
Yes,
Because remember, in January, we're gonna have Bob coming to talk tobacco, and I think that
right. And you
That'll
need
be-
Is he
to
coming to
have
our
the new
meeting?
Regulations in place or voting on them by April, I thought.
February, March, public
March.
hearings, and then a vote
Right,
in
so you
April.
you want to have your workshop mid-January at the latest.
Since we have a lot of regulations, should we schedule 2 workshops? And break it up? Because then it could be like an hour and an hour, perhaps.
Get us the dates, yeah, we'll see what rooms. are
Whatever you fancy, I don't care.
For your fanciest.
All right, well.
We got to.
Whatever's
should I-
easiest for you. It's dense and it's like good bedtime reading, so I don't know, whatever you like.
It's soporific.
Should
and
we
it's a
officially
bedtime
adjourn
vision.
this meeting?
It's hard to sell this stuff, you know?
I think maybe we need to officially adjourn our meeting.
Well, was there anything else on the agenda?
Just the minutes.
So we're adjourned?
No.
Yeah,
No,
you
not
can
yet.
take a motion, you can take a motion to adjourn, yep.
Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
This is.
All in favor? Okay.
Yes, Clipper. But I do think it's easiest if we can view it online, like.